Confirmation is the perfect moment to reflect about Christmas and what it means. Now, there's few things in life that are as consoling, as profound, as the experience that we get when there's the feeling that we have been heard, seen, understood, loved, right in the midst of our poverty. What does that mean? Well, first, I've got a Christmas story for you. It's December 25th, 1995. I have been in the U.S. now for about 2 months, so everything is relatively new to me. We live in a small apartment with mom, dad, and my 4 older sisters. It's an apartment that's modest. It's furnished with just the basics that my parents were able to get out of donations. There's a dining room table with mismatched chairs, a couch that's wrapped in bed sheets to hide imperfections. There's a small desk with a small fish tank with 2 Comet goldfish that mom got for me. She thought it would be a good idea as I adjusted to this new and strange place. It does, it helps. Although she didn't realize that little fish tank and the comfort that it produced during this moment of transition would be the catalyst for the many giant fish tanks and exotic animal enclosures that I would end up having in 2021. It's your fault, Mom. As my first Christmas in the States, it wasn't as grand as I had imagined it would be. I had been watching Home Alone and A Christmas Story, which had been playing over and over in TV, and I had been amped up, imagining Christmas around a giant tree filled with toys at the base. But since my parents were just beginning to get their footing, we didn't have much money. I knew that wasn't going to be true for me, so I wasn't expecting much. I knew it wouldn't be much to Christmas. Now, last night was nice. We went to Christmas Mass in the evening, came back, had a traditional Christmas dinner with stuff that Mom got from the food bank. We opened up a few presents at midnight and then headed over to sleep. It's now around noon, Christmas Day, and I've been awake for a few hours, cleaned the living room, that was my chore, and I've sat by the fish tank as I watched TV while Mom is busy in the kitchen reheating leftovers for lunch. Toy Story action figures are almost in every commercial, and my 8-year-old self is convinced that having that Buzz Lightyear with voice command and that laser strap will change my life. Maybe someday I'll have it. All of a sudden, I'm startled by a loud knock at the door. I look over to see my mom, and she's just gazing at me, letting me know to go get it. So I do. I get up and I approach the door, twist the knob, open it, and there stands this tall man, a stranger, a tall blue-eyed man, blonde-haired, stranger with a huge smile on his face, and he's holding a basket of wrapped gifts with many more at his feet. Now, noticing my face of confusion, he crouches down, comes down to my eye level. He gestures for me to take what he's holding and says, "For you, para ti, Feliz Navidad." I look back at where Mom was, and her face of complacency says, "Está bien, yes, you can take it, tómalo." I feel my eyes widen in disbelief, and I am quickly overcome with joy, like when my fish know it's feeding time. So I take the gifts, one after another, and I place them inside the house, inside the apartment, and that quick, he gestures a goodbye and leaves. Maybe there is more to Christmas than I thought. Few things in life are as consoling, as profound as the experience of feeling heard, seen, understood, to feel like you're no longer a stranger in a strange land in the midst of your poverty. And isn't that what the Christmas experience is? The birth of Christ is God coming into the poverty of our humanity into the messiness of our daily lives and gives us the gift of being loved, understood, heard, seen, accompanied, where we are made strangers no more in a strange land. Now, for centuries before Christ, before this Christmas event, people had been trying and crying out loud for deliverance to something, to someone. They were looking for answers to human poverty. What is human poverty? It's the problem of evil, it's pain, it's suffering. And so we see how philosophers, they started to come up with different concepts to try and give meaning to our lives, and that gave rise to many great stories of mythology. And it brought forth this fascination with the stars and the planets and all of the elements, trying to make sense of it all, trying to find a way to free ourselves from human poverty. Now, in that search, in that desire, God begins to slowly and directly respond, starting in a particular place with a community that had suffered greatly, Israel. God comes down right to their level, and using their culture, their philosophy, God begins to describe who He is for them and how they understood God is first as wisdom, as this intelligible feminine force that's wanting to be known. Then God became known as Lord, as a powerful masculine force, bringing order out of chaos with only one word. Then they started using other adjectives to describe this God: a rock, a shield, a fortress, the deliverer, the great I am. And the more they came to know about this God, the more trust they started to develop that what God was saying to them and offering to them to establish a covenant, a relationship with them, was something good, something that they were seeking, desiring, looking for. Now, this trust that began to develop between God and the Israelites led to a confidence. The confidence that they could then be able to voice their concerns to God, their afflictions, their poverty, that somehow God would listen to them. And they composed poems, many poems, to talk about their experience, like Psalm 86. Psalm 86 has become a universal anthem of the human experience. Just listen to these words. Incline your ear, O Lord, and answer me, for I am poor and oppressed. You are my God, be gracious to me, Lord. To you I call all day. Lord, hear my prayer. Listen to my cry for help. On the day of my distress I call to you, for you will answer me. Turn to me. Be gracious to me. Give your strength to your servant. Give me a sign of your favor, that you, Lord, help and comfort me. So we see how there began to emerge in humanity this radical hope. And so they're asking for God for a sign, a promise, a trust that the Lord will hear the cry of the poor and will comfort His people, all peoples, all nations, till the ends of the earth, as Isaiah proclaimed. And what we could have not imagined is how God would do just that. That sign finally came at a particular moment in history in a little town called Bethlehem, where once again, speaking in a way that people would understand, using their culture, using their philosophy, God reveals Himself, but this time not as an adjective, but as a verb. The Word was made flesh and now dwells among us. So Christmas is the celebration of that historical moment in which God saw our poverty, where God lowers Himself to become one of us, so that we ourselves may then be elevated and share in the divinity of Christ. Now that is the mystery of Christmas, That is the mystery of being a Christian. That is the mystery of the faith that we profess. And that is the mystery that all of you who are seeking confirmation are saying yes to today. Now, to confirm our faith, it doesn't mean to say that we are certain we have all of the answers about who God is and what God is doing in the world. To be confirmed in faith does not mean that there's no more doubt or questions in us about life, about faith, about the church. To confirm our faith is to allow God, through the Holy Spirit that's being breathed onto us through Jesus in the church, to come and meet us right where we're at our level, right in our poverty, right in the messiness of our human experience, a glorious messiness. Now, we need not be perfect to be confirmed. All we need is to simply say yes. Yes to this gift of Jesus in our lives. And then that is how we allow that gift to transform our own poverty into something that's life-giving for other people. There is nothing as consoling, nothing as profound as the experience of feeling loved, understood, heard, seen, accompanied in the midst of our poverty. Now, God has done that for us in Jesus, and in faith, we do that for each other. That Christmas Day back in 1995, someone felt moved to volunteer at what I'm assuming is some kind of gift program for children of low income. Now, he was giving, maybe he realized this, maybe he didn't, but he was giving more than just simple Christmas gifts on Christmas Day. Honestly, I don't remember what he gave me. Out of all of the toys and gifts, I don't remember a single one. But what has stayed with me very vividly, what has stayed in my heart, in my mind, is his face, his eyes, his smile, his gesture of crouching down to my level, and in a simple gesture, giving me what an 8-year-old in a new country needed. It wasn't Buzz Lightyear. It was to be made feel loved, cared for, understood, heard, seen, accompanied, to made known that he was a stranger no more. Those are the gifts that really change us. Those are the gifts that really stay with us for a lifetime. That Christmas, it was very special after all.